Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's Packing Up RealCare Baby for Summer Vacation. So I hope all of you have had a very nice school year, and I know that things are starting to wrap up and that you're ready to enjoy a few months off, kind of have a break and everything. And it's also the same for the babies as well. So they've had a busy year and they too deserve a well-deserved summer break before the next school year. And here's what you will do to want to kind of prepare for putting the babies away for the summer. Our agenda today, we are going to go over preparing the RealCare Baby program for summer, organizing your program and storage, online resources, promotions, and how to contact Realityworks. And we will also allow for questions at the very end of the webinar. So first thing, preparing the RealCare program for the summer. Most important thing that you want to do first is to recharge the baby. So before you put the babies into storage, get them ready by charging them fully. Now, a full charge is going to take about 4 to 6 hours. Having them charged overnight is just fine. So if you're leaving for the day and you want to plug the babies into the charger and then take care of the remainder of the packing everything at the very next day, that's perfectly fine. But a full charge takes 4 to 6 hours. But otherwise, plug the baby into the charger overnight, come back to the school in the morning, unplug them, and then you can begin to pack the babies away for summer. Now, one thing I will mention, and this is very important, and this is with any rechargeable product, that baby should be charged a few hours once every 3 months to maintain the life of the batteries. Any rechargeable product does require regular charging to maintain the life of the batteries. What you do not want to do is allow a rechargeable product to sit for long periods of time without receiving a charge. So for example, if you have a program that you're only going to be doing every other year, do not let the baby sit for a long period, like up to a year, without receiving a charge, because that could do permanent damage to the to the batteries. So once every 3 months, take the babies out of storage, plug them in for a few hours, unplug them, and put them back into storage. So if you're going to resume babies in the fall, so right now it's in May, go ahead and plug them into the charger, give them a full charge, unplug them, and roughly around late August, early September, that's when you'll want to pull the babies back out of storage, recharge them again, recharge them fully 4 to 6 hours. But if you're not going to be using them in the fall, again, still once every 3 months, you do need to take the babies out of storage, plug them into the charger, give them a full charge, put them back into storage. So just want to reiterate that never let a rechargeable product sit for a long period of time without receiving a charge, because that could permanently damage the batteries. And I will mention that once you unplug the charger from the baby, the batteries will trickle drain dead. It typically takes about 7 days for the batteries to drain out. So it's not uncommon that when the babies are in storage and the batteries are draining out, that you might hear a ticking sound coming from the babies. That is common. You may find out that as the batteries drain out and it's giving its last bit of energy, that the baby might make a ticking sound. So if you hear that and it's been like roughly around 5 to 7 days, don't be surprised. That ticking is just the battery giving off the last of its juice. It could take a couple of hours. It might take maybe a day or a couple of days for that ticking to finally stop, but that is common and the batteries are just draining dead. Eventually that ticking sound will just stop. I will mention that do not make sure that you do not leave the babies plugged. Do not forget to unplug them. So when summer break comes around, do not leave them plugged in for long periods of time. So that could it won't kill the battery outright, but it could degrade the battery faster. So after you've given them a full charge, again, 4 to 6 hours or overnight, be sure that you unplug the baby before putting them into storage. Now, while the baby is being charged, what you want to do is wash all of the clothing. Now, the clothing, that's the outfit top and bottom, the ducky sleeper, the bodysuit, the outfit, if you have the fleece outfit, if you have that, the diapers, they can all be machine washed. Use cold, gentle cycle. We do recommend that you line dry. It is best. It just reduces the wear and tear on the clothing to just have them line dry. But if you are short of time and you really just have to use the dryer is fine, but be sure that the dryer is set to low or to air fluff. The chips that are inside, that are sewn inside the clothing, they're just a single wire transmitter. So a dryer that is set to medium or high could damage that sensor. So make sure if you use a dryer, make sure that the dryer is set to low or to air fluff. But again, your clothing, give it a good wash, cold, gentle cycle, line dry, or put in the dryer and set the dryer to low or to air fluff. Now for preparing the baby, while after you've had a chance to clean the clothing and baby has been charged and you're ready to put the baby away, you'll want to clean the baby and actually even wipe down the accessories. First, probably want to disinfect the baby. Good idea after all the touching that has been going on throughout the entire year that you get it nice and disinfected before putting it away. Get a disinfectant wipe or rubbing alcohol solution. It needs to have an alcohol content of 60% or higher. That alcohol content is an antimicrobial and it kills 99.99% of all germs, and that's including COVID, within 10 to 30 seconds. So, and make sure this disinfectant wipe or the rubbing alcohol solution does not contain any bleach. So you want to gently wipe down the baby from head to toe and then just let it sit for anywhere from a few minutes to up to a half hour is perfectly fine. And then with that same rubbing alcohol solution, you can wipe down the bottle, you can wipe down the IDs, you can wipe down if you have the car seats, you can wipe down the handles or the hard plastic, any kind of hard plastic of the accessories. Wipe those down, let them air dry, and then you can put them away. Now for cleaning, when it comes to just general dirt and grime, so first get it disinfected, and then you can probably just clean it. Actually, really doesn't matter what order you do this in, but if you do just some general cleaning for getting rid of dirt and grime, the Mr. Clean Magic Eraser is a very good product at general cleaning of the baby. The limbs do not have any wires connected to them. So if you needed to scrub down the limbs, you could do that. Just remove the limbs. You can get them under some tap water, clean away with the Mr. Clean Magic Eraser or the Goop Hand Cleaner. There's even the Goo Gone. What's nice about the Goop Hand Cleaner and the Goo Gone cleaners is that they have a got a little grit that acts as an exfoliant. And use a green kitchen scrubby, get a good little lather and then scrub away at the limbs and just let them air dry before reattaching those limbs to the body. Use like baby oil. That makes it just easier to put the limbs back in the body. And then you can also, while the limbs are drying, you can also wipe down scrub down the front and back of the baby and be gentle on the face and the head as well, just so that it does not remove any of the paint that you see there. Now, if it comes to any inks or dyes, if you have any of the vinyl that may have been stained with an ink or dye, we really have not found an effective product that can remove ink or dye stains from the vinyl. And that's just due to the very porous nature of the product. But what we do recommend is that you use an acne cream that has 10% benzoyl peroxide. Just dab that acne cream on the stained area and then leave the baby in a windowsill so that it's exposed to daylight. Sunlight is great, but if it's cloudy and everything, don't worry, just leave it in the windowsill so it's exposed to daylight. Let it sit there for a couple of days, wipe away at the stained area. Very possible that you might have to put a second application. And you can also find all of these cleaning suggestions on our document on our website at this link right here under how do I clean and store my product. Now, so just to recap on how best to clean up the baby, to disinfect the baby, get a disinfectant wipe or rubbing alcohol solution that contains 60% alcohol content, and then make sure, again, no bleach, and then gently wipe down the baby from head to foot, let it air dry, and then you can wipe down the bottle, you can wipe down the IDs, you can wipe down the plastic of the car seat or any other hard surfaces that you might have. And then for general cleaning of the baby, Mr. Clean Magic Erasers are very good at cleaning up the vinyl, same as the Goop hand cleaner or the Goo Gone hand cleaner as well. And then for any type of inks and dye stains, try the Acne cream that has 10% benzoyl peroxide. Dab that on the stained area, leave that in a windowsill to just so that it's exposed to sunlight, daylight, let it sit there for a couple of days, wipe away, and then if the stain is still there, try one more application. And so once you've had a chance to charge the baby and clean the baby and wash the clothing, time to get the baby organized, all your stuff, all your accessories and everything, and put them into storage. Now, storage of the baby, store the baby itself in a plastic bag. That's really important right there, is that you put the baby in a plastic bag when it's not going to be in any kind of use. During the summer, many locations do go through a lot of renovations or some deep cleaning, and through that, you can get a lot of dust and particles that get kicked up in the air, and having the babies in a plastic bag will protect their vinyl. It will protect their electronics from any type of particles that are free floating in the air during the summer months. Now, it does not matter what kind of plastic bag that you use. If you have the original bag that the baby came in, perfect, use that. Otherwise, any bag is fine as long as it does not have a print that could bleed onto the vinyl. So you don't want any type of bag that has a print onto it that could bleed onto the vinyl, but otherwise any bag will be just fine. And then once it's in the bag, you can put it into any kind of a box. In another few slides here, we'll have some storage tips of where to put them. But for optimal conditions, what you want to do is to store the babies indoors in a cool, dry location. Now, that in some circumstances might not be available to some instructors. You may have all you have available to you to store the babies might be in a shed that's non-temperature controlled. That will be okay if you do that. So if you have just a standard storage shed that's out in the sun and everything, it is fine to keep the babies in that type of environment. But what you want to do is when you do take the baby out of storage to charge them again or start to use them again, just let them sit for a good day to allow baby to adjust to the new temperature before charging. Any type of extreme temperature changes can cause condensation to build up in the baby that would take up to about a day to dry out. If you do get condensation that builds up in there and you plug in the baby too soon, you could accidentally short out the electronics. So if the baby is going to be stored in an environment that is not temperature controlled, make sure you take the baby out and then let it sit for a good day, a good 24 hours, and then you can start charging them again. But otherwise, main thing, get them in a plastic bag. That's going to protect the vinyl. That is absolutely essential that you keep the vinyl protected. Optimal conditions are to be stored indoors in a cool, dry location. But again, if you have a situation where the baby will be in a storage shed that's outdoors, before you charge the baby, take it out of storage, let it sit for a good day before charging the batteries. Now, RealityWorks does provide some storage cases and carts for your babies. If you have any of these, it is a great idea to keep your baby, again, put them in the plastic bag, and then you can charge them in here. When you're done charging, you can unplug them, but you can use the 20 baby cart or the 5 baby storage case to store your babies. So have them in the plastic bag. Probably not a bad idea to have the clothing on them too, like that blue or pink outfit top and bottom. But otherwise, if you're going to kind of keep the clothing separate, perfectly fine to do that. But again, always make sure that if you're still using the 20 baby cart or the 5 baby storage case, that they are in a plastic bag when they're in storage, and make sure they're unplugged from the charger once they've reached a full charge. Now, a new product is the new RealCare Baby single charger storing case. This storing case is for one baby. You can put the baby in there along with the accessories. And they can also, if you have multiple cases here, they can stack one on top of each other. So yes, it holds the babies and the supplies. On the side of the case is a insert for a label where you could write down on a card the name of the baby or the gender and ethnicity, or maybe you want to put the contents of that what's inside that storage case on that card as well, so that when you open it up, you can look at the card and go, okay, I've got everything right in here. And also on the top of that cover is a link, a card that has a link to a lot of, there are access links for you to reach to get to realityworks.com or product support or the main support page for the RealCare Babies. And you can also, when you have the single charger, you could charge the baby from the case, use the single charger that you currently have, run that through that little handle that's along the side right there, and plug the baby into the charger. Once you've done charging the baby, you can unplug the baby and put the single charger back in the case. To learn more about this product, you can click on this link right here to learn more about the new RealCare Baby single storage case and how you can purchase more of those. Now, if you do not have the 20 baby cart or the 5 baby case or the single baby storage case, some other educator ideas have been to pick up bins for the babies, like you see right here. Each baby here has a storage bin where you can keep the items and the accessories all together inside, whichever is going to be easiest for you, so you can kind of stack them. Even if you have the old boxes for the babies, you can use them as well. Also, maybe make some bins for each little baby and little note cards as to what articles you have for them here, what clothing you have, the ID, the bottle, any other accessories, to kind of store not just the baby, but all of the accessories like the clothing, the bottle, the IDs, the breastfeeding devices, if you use those. But also have a place to where you want to keep all of your accessories, especially like the instructor key and your communication device, whether that is the blue pod or the green X stick or the blue communication adapter. So before you put the babies away, make a list of all the things that you have. That includes your babies, what accessories you have for the babies, what articles of clothing you have, the chargers you have for them. Take photographs as well, so you can kind of have a running inventory of what you have and where you're probably going to keep them. Even the accessories that you have of for your own, especially when it comes to the instructor key and the communication adapter, whether again it's the blue pod, the green X stick, or the blue communication adapter. And then once you've had a chance to look at what you have for inventory, keep in mind, okay, do I have enough already for the fall? And if you know that you need to get some accessories and need to plan right away to have everything on hand before you come back to the fall, whether that's going to be some extra IDs or the wristbands or any type of clothing like the diapers, or maybe a two-piece suit outfit for the baby, you can order the accessories by clicking on this link and ordering from our website. Now, online resources that you'll want to, these will be very helpful links for not just when you go away for the summer, but for when you come back in the fall to kind of help prepare yourself. The main one is this link right here. It is the RealityWorks online support page for RealCare Baby and the Control Center. Bookmark this page because you're probably going to come back to it a lot throughout the year, especially in the fall. Now, the main thing that you'll be able to get from this link is the software download for the Control Center software. Now, just to remember, your communication devices do not have the software installed in it. They're just communication devices. So you will not find the software in them. So if you come back in the fall, and many instructors, when they come back in the fall, will find out that their computer has been wiped clean, or maybe even possibly an older version of the Control Center was reinstalled back to your computer, or you've got a new computer and they didn't install the Control Center. You can always download a free version of the Control Center by clicking on this link and then clicking on the installation box for Windows or Mac. Now, I will mention that the Control Center can only be installed onto Windows and Mac computers. So if your school is looking to switch over to Chromebooks for the next school year, let them know that the Control Center is not compatible with Chromebook. It can only be installed onto a Windows or a Mac computer. And you can always get a fresh version installed to your computer by clicking on that link and then clicking on the box for Windows or Mac. Now, also on this, you have your Control Center help guide and many how-to documents. There's how-to documents for like, what do I need to get started? If you have to ever need a refresher on how to add the babies or program the babies, there are documents and videos as well for you to follow along with, to charging your babies and to getting them added and to how to program them. And also you'll be able to find the participant care video. This is the video that the students will watch when they are ready to before they take the babies home for a simulation. So this is a very important link. Bookmark it. Oh, and also I mentioned also on that same page at the bottom right corner, there's a link that says chat. You can click on that chat icon and you can connect to product support. So bookmark this page because it'll be a very important website for you to come back to when you return in the fall. Other additional resources, there's the RealCare Baby User Center. For this link here, you'll be able to find printable checklists along with many downloadable resources and instructor resources. A lot of the handouts or permission forms or other documents that you print out on a regular basis can be located in that link as well. And then for additional classroom ideas, this link right here, this second link, you'll find additional classroom idea guides, lesson ideas, and implementation resources for implementing your program when you return back in the fall. There are also free posters that you can obtain by clicking this link. Of the different posters, you can find early childhood education careers, family and consumer sciences, and how to maximize the impact of your parenting program. Other additional resources, we have the RealityWorks blog. You can look onto there to just kind of see what other comments or suggestions that other instructors have had. And then we have also on-demand webinars. If you click this link, there's a history of all the different webinars that we have had for the RealCare Babies throughout the years. You can also find this same webinar on that link, along with even some of the ones that we've done throughout the past year and everything, which will be very helpful if you ever wanted to see what else we have done in webinars in previous years. There's also Facebook and Twitter to see the other comments that other instructors have made, also for what new products and what new courses we may have throughout the upcoming year and everything. So keeping in touch with what's going on with RealityWorks, you can find that on Facebook and on Twitter. And then for any promotions that we have coming up, we have always going on the trade-in, the outdated RealCare Babies. Now, this could be any model of baby from, from the mid-90s right through the RealCare 2 Plus or older, much older RealCare Baby 3. So if you look at if you have a baby that has electronics that you pull out of the back, or if it says RealCare Baby 2 or RealCare Baby 2 Plus, those are all obsolete products and can be used as a trade-in. We recycle all the trade-ins, that's including with the vinyl, the electronics, all the pieces and everything inside of them. We recycle all of that. It doesn't matter what condition the baby is in. It can be really messy, it can be really sticky. We will still accept the babies in any condition, and they can be used as a trade-in towards a new RealCare Baby 3. The trade-in credit is $50. It's a 1-for-1 on the simulators. You can find out more by clicking on that link below or contacting our account services at 800-830-1416, option 1, and they can go into more details for you. And then finally, how to contact RealityWorks, specifically like product support. So go to www.realityworks.com, click on the chat icon at the bottom right corner of the web page, and you can connect to account services or product support. If you send an email, just general information, you can go to information@realityworks.com. But if you have a question that's specific to a product you currently have, and questions about operation or a problem that you might be encountering, or just how do I do this, or I'm kind of running into this problem, go to product support@realityworks.com. Give us as much information in your message, and we'll be able to reply to you with the best detailed answer we can give you. Otherwise, by contacting us at 800-830-1416, go to option 1 to place an order, or option 2 for product support, or to find out the status of an existing order. If you are contacting product support in regards to like something with your babies, whether it's the control center or operational problems, make sure that you are at the computer with the control center and that you have the baby, have it plugged into the charger along with the instructor key and the accessories. And if it's also in relation to an order, please have either your order number or PO number or a quote number, and we'll be able to, that will help us to locate your order as well. So I'd like to pause for a moment here to see if we have any questions about anything that we've covered, or maybe some other questions that have not been covered currently that you do have on your mind.